Alright, today we're going to assemble a set of dropped uprights and steering arms for 49 to 53 Ford. Some people call them drop spindles, but we're going to show the assembly procedure. First thing we'll do is wrap the bottom of this upright with some blue tape so we don't mar it up in the vise. Alright, got it wrapped up. Now the first thing you need to know on these things is the grease zerks point forward. So you're going to have them, they're offset. Grease zerks should point forward of the car. Now obviously they're dropped uprights. So the original ones, both of these were down here, stock height in your cast one. These move it up, obviously, which is going to lower the car. So we'll go ahead and get this put in the vise and start assembling it. Now the kingpins already come pre-fitted and reamed, so all you got to do is just pop it out, come out the bottom so it'll clear. And then another thing you need to know on your actual spindles is there's a top and a bottom to it. So your wider part is going to go to the top. Don't put it on upside down. If you do put it on upside down, it's going to angle your spindle up. So that's the top, the wider part. So now we've got the spindle started. Start feeding the kingpin up from the bottom. Now we're at the point we're going to put the thrust bearing in. You'll see there's a cap side and a thrust side. Thrust side's going to go up. It's going to go this way against the actual upright. It's going to support the weight of the car. Put it on upside down, all it's going to do is just grind itself apart. So make sure that this part here points upward. And now in the kingpin kit, it comes with these little shims, which we're going to take up this little gap between the base of the bearing and the spindle. You get a little assortment in there. You've just got to find the right combination to take up the gap between the bearing and the spindle. You don't want it too tight, but you don't want it too loose. You just got to find the right combination. Now in this particular situation, on this one, it actually wanted 3 of them. The other side I put together earlier only wanted 1. So they give you an assortment, and like I said, that way it's nice and tight. Now we're going to go ahead and drive this pin upward, and we're going to look for the groove. There's a groove in this pin which is going to line us up here with this little drift pin that we're going to drive through later, so we're going to get that lined up. Alright, now we've got the pin driven into the spindle, and got the, it's really hard to see, but we got the groove in the pin lined up with the hole right there, so we can drive our drift pin through. One thing you notice, there's a small end and a big end. You got to get them right, because this little drift pin right here, like I said, there's the small end and the fat end, because it's going to get driven through there and keep it all together. Alright, drift pin's driven through. There's really nothing to it. It shouldn't be too hard to do. That's going to keep that together. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the Welch plugs in the top and the bottom, smash them down, and that part will be done. Then we'll switch out the upper trunnion, lower trunnion off the original one, and then this thing will be done. We'll go hang it on the car. So the Welch plug fits real tight in the top here, so you can just kind of get it set in there with your fingers, tap it in, and you just drive it down a little bit, and it'll drive down a little deeper in there. That'll get it sunk in there real nice. Then what we'll do is we're going to set this ball peen hammer on top. We're going to hit it with another one there, and that's going to spread it out, and it'll be locked in there tight. Also, you can remove this top bolt now, because we're going to drive the trunnions in next, and it kind of gets in the way of driving this in, so I'm going to go ahead and finish yanking this out now. Alright, just a couple smacks with the ball peen, hitting it with the other one, spreads that Welch plug out. That thing's in there good and tight, it ain't going nowhere. Alright, well, we got it together. I was trying to put this thing together on a work day, so fortunately I kept getting phone calls, so I had to step away from it, but the guys finished it. But we put the trunnions in the top. It's real easy. You knock your old ones out. Just put a big fat screwdriver in this little split right there at the top of the bolt knocked out. Wedge it in there. You can knock the bushings in real easy. You're going to notice that the nut part is going to go towards the front, same side as the Zerks on both sides. And then I'll be honest with you on these, Sometimes if you want them to steer without bumping, you're gonna have to grind them a little bit, and that's why it's not painted first. Sometimes you gotta take a little off the steering arm, little off the spindle. I mean, they're built on a jig, but they're built by people, you know, so it takes a little bit of grinding to get your full steer out of it. Not a big deal, a couple minutes. Just keep fitting your steering arm on there, and that's it, it's done. So we're putting it on a mock-up chassis, so we'll go ahead and get it mounted up, and it can get painted in a couple weeks when we're ready to do that.